So my name is Alex Dorsch. I'm the Managing Director of Chalice Gold Mines based in Perth. So I'll take you through what I think is quite a unique story in the space. So we are a quite unique, well-funded junior explorer in a bit of our league of our own in the space. We have two district-scale gold exploration projects with tremendous upside, both in very high-grade provinces in Tier 1 jurisdictions. So Bendigo in Victoria, we hold a 5,000 square kilometre land package in the northern part of the state. And just east of Val d'Or in Quebec, we hold 27 kilometres of the Lake Larder Cadillac break. So two very good addresses for gold exploration. We have a quite unique financial position, having approximately 23 million in working capital, the majority of that being cash. We have not diluted our shareholders since 2011, so that's quite a prolonged period of being self-funded. And in that time as well, we've actually returned capital to shareholders twice, so paying back about a third of the net proceeds after tax of a couple of well-timed asset sales in that time. So quite a different story. So our two projects that I'll talk to you about today, the Pyramid Hill project in the Bendigo region of Victoria, a very new project, staked in late 2017, and we only begun drilling here in November of last year. We're in very good company in that part of the world. And East Cadillac in the southwest part of Quebec, we're in the southeast corner of the Abitibi there. We have consolidated a very large land package, and we're in the advanced stage of exploration drilling. Why are we doing what we're doing? We are chasing a new greenfield discovery which is bucking the trend somewhat in the industry. Back in the latter part of the 20th century, we were discovering plus 150 million ounces of metal year on year, and now we're struggling to get 50 million ounces of metal year on year. So really we're moving into greenfields, undercover provinces, more difficult exploration, but the rewards we believe are fantastic. Our strategy is to go for the big one. So the Tier 1 discovery, of which Australia and Canada have not delivered one in almost 10 years. So first of all, in Victoria. So we have a very large land package in the northern goldfields of Victoria. About 60 million ounces was mined from this area dating back to the mid-19th century, so very historic domain. Most of it very high grade, so on average 15 grams per tonne gold. The host geology that hosted that historic production extends to the north, but it goes under a sedimentary basin called the Murray Basin. And the Victorian Geological Survey estimates there's a prize of 32 million ounces at a P50 confidence level there, waiting to be discovered. And we have approximately 70% of that area under licence. And now it's obviously very relevant thanks to the work of our neighbours Kirkland Lake. So this shows what can happen in the Victorian gold space in the space of 2.5 years. Fosterville has gone from being a very marginal operation to now being the world's lowest cost primary gold mine, with cash costs below $200 an ounce, and they are approaching about a 600,000 ounce per annum production level, with now almost a 3 million ounce reserve at 31 grams per tonne. So it really doesn't, deposits like this don't really exist in the modern day times, so it shows, I guess, the size of the prize here in this part of the world. And they're also spending about $15 million doing regional exploration in a similar manner to what we're doing undercover. So Fosterville is down the bottom right-hand side of the figure there. Their area is in blue. They have a few thousand square kilometres of exploration licences surrounding their mine. Our area is there in orange. Again, along strike from Fosterville as well as along strike from other prolific ore bodies like Bendigo, 22 million ounces of 15 grams gold. Very unexplored, so basically 50 effective drill holes northwest of Bendigo along strike, over about 100 kilometres of strike there you're looking at the centre of the page. So completely untested. We've now drilled 300 air core holes into that central land package, the Muckleford area, and we have about 2 weeks remaining to go. So we've been drilling constantly for about 5 months now there in this part of the world. We've also done some reconnaissance work on the other areas there on the page there as well. So conceptually, this is what you're looking at, the host geology outcropping to the south, and as you go north, you go under varying thickness of Murray Basin. So as shallow as 20 metres of cover and as deep as about 150 metres, but very poorly understood, this cover. So this is a quick snapshot of the results we've released so far. We're about half of the result out from our first 35,000 metres of drilling. We're drilling very cost effectively, so we need to cover a very large land package here, 5,000 square k's. We're drilling for about $40 a metre, all in, which is not too bad, in considering we can drill a hole as deep as 180 metres deep with the current rig we're using. We've hit some anomalous, smoke surrounding what we believe may be fire. Too early to say yet whether there is fire, but we're getting anomalous gold and pathfinder elements on drill fences that are 3+ kilometres apart. So basically our approach here is to look for a Bendigo or Fosterville scale system first and work through systematically to see whether one of those exists undercover here. We think there's every chance there's more than one Tier 1 discovery to be made in this property. So the next phase will be stepping out and doing fences at about 500 to 1,000 metre spacing. So this is proper reconnaissance scale exploration, about $3 million we've spent here in the last 6 months. And we have 20 million in cash, so we have a few years ahead of us of being well funded. And then we're in Quebec, so half of the story is on the opposite side of the planet in Quebec. We're in the southeast corner of the Abitibi. What drew us to this location is obviously geology and the periodicity of deposits along the Cadillac break. Every 40, 50 kilometres along that structure you get a gold camp or a significant Tier 1 discovery. But on our corner there, in the eastern corner, there hasn't been much discovered to date. So we've basically been consolidating for the best part of 2.5 years. We've spent $13 million on this property and done 14 different earn-in or purchase deals to acquire what we have. And so that's our land position in the bottom right corner of the page there. It's the East Cadillac Gold Project because we're on the eastern end of the Cadillac break. We surround a TSXV junior called Cartier with 27 kilometres of strike there running west and east. There's also a new development in this part of the world with Cisco Mining moving in as our neighbour. They've made an all-scrip offer for Alexandria, our neighbour there, at 4 cents a share. And you can see the deposits around Val-d'Or. I guess that's what we're speculating here, is that there is another Val-d'Or 40-odd kilometres to the east on our property. We've drilled about 33,000 metres of regional space diamond on this property. We've made 2 new discoveries. We've also got many advanced prospects that have wide open zones of mineralisation. So more work to be done here, but we're looking at various concepts here, including open pittable concepts at some of the higher priority targets like North Contact and Simon West. We've also done a very large 3D IP survey, which I won't go into detail, but it basically outlines how prospective some of the eastern part of this property package is. So that gives you a very quick overview of our 2 properties. The history of Chalice, it's not a new story. I mentioned earlier we've generated over 100 million in net proceeds after tax from a couple of well-timed asset sales, and that is the basics there. Currently, we have about 8 cents of cash backing per share, and we're trading at the moment at 12 cents. So if you like, we're a very cheap call option on multiple Tier 1 gold discoveries. And our insider ownership is very good, with our chairman holding almost 17% of the stock. So that's the overview, and I thank you very much for your time.